Approaches to the Laozi. Is the Laozi a manual of self-cultivation in government? Is it a metaphysical treatise, or does it harbor deep mystical insights? Chapter 1 of the current Laozi begins with the famous words, "The way that can be spoken of is not the constant way." Chapter 10 speaks of nourishing one's soul and embracing the one. Chapter 80 depicts the ideal polity as a small country with few inhabitants. The Laozi is a difficult text. Its language is often cryptic. The sense or reference of the many symbols it employs remains unclear, and there seems to be conceptual inconsistencies. For example, whereas Chapter 2 refers to the mutual production of being and non-being, Chapter 40 declares, "Being originates in non-being." Henricks, trans. 1989. Is it more meaningful to speak of the worldviews of the Daodejing instead of a unified vision? If the Laozi were an anthology put together at random by different compilers over a long period of time, occasional inconsistencies need not be an issue. Traditionally, however, this was never a serious option. Most modern studies are equally concerned to disclose the deeper unity and meaning of the classic. While some seek to recover the original meaning of the Laozi, others celebrate its contemporary relevance. Consider, first of all, some of the main modern approaches to the Daodejing. Hardy, 1998. One view is that the Laozi reflects a deep mythological consciousness at its core. The myth of chaos in particular helps shape the Taoist understanding of the cosmos and the place of human beings in it. Gerardot, 1983. Chapter 25, for example, likens the Tao to an undifferentiated oneness. The myth of a great Mother Earth goddess may also have informed the worldview of the Laozi, 1935, Chin, 1969, which explains its emphasis on nature and the feminine, Chen, 1989. Chapter 6, for example, refers to the spirit of the valley, which is also called the mysterious female. A second view is that the Laozi gives voice to a profound mysticism. According to Victor Mayer, 1990, it is indebted to Indian mysticism. See also Wally, 1958. According to Benjamin Schwartz, 1985, the mysticism of the Daodejing is sui generis, uniquely Chinese, and has nothing to do with India. Indeed, as one scholar suggests, it is unlike other mystical writings in that ecstatic vision does not play a role in the ascent of the Taoist sage. Welch, 1965-60. According to another interpretation, however, there is every indication that ecstasy forms a part of the world of the Laozi, although it is difficult to gauge the degree of its mystical leanings. Kaltenmark, 1969-69-65. A more recent champion of the mystical view is Harold Roth, who argues that Taoist inner cultivation and Indian yoga may be similar, but they are parallel developments in different cultures at different cultures. Roth, 1999-137. It is possible to combine the mystical and mythological approaches. Although the presence of ancient religious beliefs can still be detected, they have been raised to a higher mystical plane in the Laozi, e.g., Qing, 1997. Broadly, one could carve out a third category of interpretations that highlights the religious significance of the Laozi, whether in general terms or aligned with the tenets of religious Taoism. A fourth view sees the Laozi mainly as a work of philosophy, which gives a metaphysical account of reality and insight into Taoist self-cultivation in government. But fundamentally, it is not a work of mysticism. W. T. Chan, 1963. The strong practical interest of the Laozi distinguishes it from any mystical doctrine that eschews worldly involvement. In H.G. Creel's 1977 words, it is purposive and not purely contemplative. Fifth, to many readers, the Laozi offers essentially a philosophy of life. Remnants of an older religious thinking may have found their way into the text, but they have been transformed into a naturalistic philosophy. The emphasis on naturalness translates into a way of life characterized by simplicity, calmness, and freedom from the tyranny of desire. E.g., Liu Xiaogan, 1997. For Roger Ames and David Hall, 2003. Indeed, The essence of the Laozi is making this life significant. Unlike the claim that the Laozi espouses a mystical or esoteric teaching directed at a restricted audience, this view tends to highlight its universal appeal and contemporary relevance. Sixth, the Laozi is above all concerned with realizing peace and socio-political order. It is an ethical and political masterpiece intended for the ruling class, with concrete strategic suggestions aimed at remedying the moral and political turmoil engulfing late Zhou China. Self-cultivation is important, but the ultimate goal extends beyond personal fulfillment. Lao 1963, Lafargue 1992, Moeller 2006. The Laozi criticizes the Confucian school not only for being ineffectual in restoring order, but more damagingly as a culprit in worsening the ills of society at that time. The ideal seems to be a kind of primitive society, in the non-pejorative sense, where people would dwell in simplicity, harmony, and contentment, not fettered by ambition or desire. E.g., D. Needham 1956. This list is far from exhaustive. There are other views of the Laozi. Chad Hansen 1992, for example, focuses on the anti-language philosophy of the text. Different combinations are also possible. A. C. Graham, for example, emphasizes both the mystical and political elements, arguing that the Laozi was probably targeted at the ruler of a small state 1989, 234. For Hans-Georg Moeller 2006, though a work of political philosophy in its original context, the Laozi offers a powerful critique of humanism that is ethically as relevant then as it is now. The Laozi could be seen as encompassing all of the above. Such categories as the metaphysical, ethical, political, mystical, and religious form a unified whole in Taoist thinking and are deemed separate and distinct only in modern Western thought. Alternatively, coming back to the question of multiple authorship and coherence, it could be argued that the Laozi contains layers of material put together by different people at different times. Emerson 19. Is it fair to say that the Laozi is inherently polysemic? Robinette 1998, open to diverse interpretations. This concerns not only the difficulty of the Laozi but also the interplay between reader and text in any act of interpretation. Polysemy challenges the assertion that the intended meaning of the Laozi can be recovered fully. But it is important to emphasize it does not follow that context is unimportant, that parameters do not exist, or that there are no checks against particular interpretations. While hermeneutic reconstruction remains an open process, it cannot disregard the rules of evidence. Questions of provenance, textual variance, as well as the entire tradition of commentaries and modern scholarship are important for this reason. And it is for this same reason that the present article leaves the discussion of the Laozi itself till the end. The following presents some of the main concepts and symbols in the Laozi based on the current text, focusing on the key conceptual cluster of Tao, de virtue, Ziran naturalness, and Wu-wei non-action. I propose that the two readings represented by the Heshangong and Wang Bai commentaries both bring out important insight from the Laozi. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. We love hearing from you, so drop a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you have. Your feedback helps us create better content for you. See you in the next video.